And you don't have like insurance, they could do something, man, because
I don't have income right now. I have insurance, but I don't have income right now.
I don't know. I know that we're going into TMI territory, but I like the fact that my penis works. That would drive me up a wall.
Well, it's not that bad. You just don't get horny.
That's terrible.
You just don't get horny. Like
I love getting. This is gonna sound weird too, but if we get the applause, I don't know if anyone else can hear it besides me in this chat. But I love getting horny. Sorry.
And again, like there's somebody with a super chat right now, Brain, which is the guy that comes to my channel from time to time.
All right, we got some super chats here. Some of that you can answer what you want to answer. You can not answer what you don't want to answer.
Well, he wanted to say when Wings is on top of the world. That's not true. That's not true at all. I think Rich has been around almost as long as me. I helped a lot of people.
You've been around longer than me,
including Woody, including Kyle, a Moody Swede, Mr. 360 Beast, the Mark of J. Like I can list off a number of high-end channels at the end back in the day that got their start by me helping them. I helped them with their content. I told them how to do it. I implemented intros. I was one of the hardest working men in the YouTube commentary scene back in the day. And to say that I shit on people when I was on the top is 100% wrong. Was I young and was I in a situation where I needed to be on SSRIs and I was not? 100%. Was I a piece of shit on Call of Duty? 100%. But at the end of the day, you gotta realize that for the most part, I played a character on PKA and in Light. Like what I did is I took my personality and I turned it up to like a 12. Right? That's what I did. I said outlandish things. People want to always say like the 45 and 16-year-old thing. I also said I'd fuck a cow. I also said other things like and other guys on PK said the same shit. I mean, like what would he say? Would he say women are built to be raped or some shit like that?
I don't know, and I have never heard if he said that or not.
Yeah.
What happened with you with PKA? Why are you not on there?
There was a period of my life where I was drastically depressed. Like one of the darkest, like 2013 happened. January 2013, Machinima restructured how they deal partnerships. And I was one of the channels on the chopping block. So I went from making $8,000 a month to making $3,000 a month. Like just 50% of my paycheck gone for the same level of work. And this, destroyed me. Like it literally took all the wind out of my sails. And I went into a depression for about 2 years. And during these 2 years, this was 2013, and at the end of 2013, they did FBS boot camp to try to pick my spirits up. And it worked a little bit. That. And then we planned a survival trip because we all liked watching Les Stroud and all these people. But I went back home and I kind of started gaining weight again. And I was all this other stuff. And I ended up not going on the survival trip. I called them a day and a half in advance. I'm like, yo, I'm bouncing out. And they threw me off the show because of that. And a couple other things. Like I would want to change the day the show was aired because I had to do something or like that, because I was trying to do things to get myself motivated because I was in such a low area. Like I was depressed.
Okay.
Like you see the Sam Richard, he bailed the same day. That's incorrect. The survival trip happened on a Sunday, was the first day of the survival trip. Kyle left on a Friday. I called out on the Friday. Kyle had already left when I called out though. So there was Saturday and they got there on Sunday morning. So there was a day and a half advance I gave them.
They didn't seem like they had a day and a half advance. Didn't they say they were traveling to you?
Well, Woody was right there, but Kyle was on his way already, but he left a day early because he was going to go a day early and get a hotel and stuff and get set in.
Now I know you had gastric bypass. What do you weigh now?
I'm 418. I went down to 330. But I started at 472. I went down to 330 and went back up to 418.
Damn. What happened? Did your diet go to shit?
Stress
eating?
Stress. Like here's the thing. Like how Minxie One reacted just a minute ago? I've got that same reaction for the last 5 years.
Oh no, no one should be canceled over shit that they said 10 years ago if they've actually
13 actually, yeah.
Changed and progressed as a human being. That's a totally different.
Because look at it this way. I was 24 when I said I'm 36 now.
What?
And I try to always try to reference it like, yo, Skyrim had 2 years to come out before I said this. Skyrim hadn't even came out for another 2 years. And again, like you see somebody else, he literally doubled down. I did not double down. I just admitted that I said it, because why not admit that you said it? It's right there on fucking video. And I explained why I said it. And I tried to give you the idea that, when I was in high school, girls were promiscuous at younger ages than people want to admit to.
Yeah, but that doesn't, like what you were saying when that was said, it's not Wings 007 in disguise. I know. Do not ban any of the trolls. It's just that Wings doesn't have to answer if he doesn't want to. Let them be here. It's fine. You guys know I ban virtually nobody.
This is not doing what I wanted to produce, though. I wanted to come on here and find somebody that would help me maybe get my YouTube channel to the point where I could use it. And all this is going to do is make my shit worse.
Who here would get you that, though, dude? I'm not saying that
the idea is publicity. If somebody out there that could actually maybe know somebody on the YouTube anti-abuse team or something like that.
You haven't been able. Did you? I mean, I'm asking really derp obvious questions. You went to YouTube support, right? Like you.
I went to the partner support, and basically you get a person that's communication challenged, that are obviously in other countries that English is not their first language, and they're reading off scripts or typing off scripts or copy pasting.
They're saying to go to Keemstar.
Yeah, Keem would probably be the best person to reach out to about that.
I reached out to Keemstar, and all he did was tweet at YouTube.
That's really all you can do, though. Is
that's all you can do, dude. That's all I could do when I was going through shit.
Yeah, you just have to do all the chaos on Twitter.
I need another level of support here. Like I need a liaison at YouTube. Because here's what's going to happen. They're going to strike me. And when they strike me, I need somebody I could reach out the email and be like, yeah, this one's not really legitimate. This is what they struck. Could you please look at it? And not have to wait the 2 weeks every time I get a strike.
Well, that's the thing, Wings, is that if you start a stink and you reach out to creators, usually people are pretty supportive,
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone in the YouTube community will help out, even if you're not a large creator, people will like help out. But Wings, you've been known for a long time, so you have at least some form of support in the event that YouTube makes a false strike due to some douchebag trolls.
I'm on my third false strike. I've got them all took off, but the fact is, it's like every time you get a strike, you can't work.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass when that happens.
No. I'm living in a perpetual point of can't work.
Right. Jesus Christ, man. I'm sorry.
Literally, they have a bot set up that anytime I go live, it strikes my channel.
Yeah, that's another level.
How is it even a thing?
Because all you need is a burner email, a Google number, and like a video of something. They don't check it. It's all bots. And they consider you guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
Yeah, I know. Gamer from Mars is coming on. Maybe he could do something to help too. I'm sure Gamer from Mars.
I don't know anybody in the YouTube scene, man. I keep to myself.
Gamer from Mars is somebody that could definitely call in and give you some advice, Wings. Like he's been dealing with a lot. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. Like there's a couple of people on YouTube that have been doing it for a long time, but not as involved in like how the YouTube community actually knows how to handle these kinds of situations. I feel like Gamer from Mars is one person that can give you sound advice.
There's I'm gonna read them to you. You can not answer what you don't want to, but I always read the super chats. Someone's saying that you condone hitting a 16-year-old last night. Is that true?
I don't understand the context. Like last night I streamed Skyrim and I learned my stream elements was down, and then I got off, and then I streamed Skyrim again. I don't know what they're even going with that.
Art, what's good, man? Glad you're joining us.
Hello. It's nice to meet you, Wingsofredemption. My name is the Gamer from Mars. I'm not sure if you know who I am.
Mm-mm.
He said he doesn't.
Okay, yeah, I could hear him. I've been watching you for many years. I have my own YouTube channel, and I help Rich sometimes get, brand deals and stuff for his channel. And I might be able to help you. I have a contact at YouTube, but would you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Like, sure. I'm just very curious because I've been watching your saga play out for years. I know recently Keemstar offered you $50,000 to do a podcast, and you said no to it. I was wondering why you didn't take him up on that.
I thought he didn't say no.
I didn't say no.
Yeah, DSP said no.
DSP said no, and then proceeded to ask for money for groceries.
I recall watching a stream of you, Wings, where you stated that you didn't believe that he would give you the money, so you didn't
100%. I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I said I would do it. Do I believe the money's there? I do not.
Well, I can tell you Keemstar is good for the money.
I know he has the money, but will he pay it? No.
I think he would, Wings.
I think he would,
because he thinks it's entertaining. That's the thing about Keemstar. If he finds something entertaining, he will pay out whatever he thinks is necessary for compensation for the entertainment.
There's very few things I won't do for $50,000.
Like I seriously think a DSP. He's in his own world, but I think a podcast with you and DSP and Boogie, yo, I would sign up to whatever service that shit was on.
I'd do that shit naked. Just sit there naked the entire fucking stream and be like fucking Jumpman podcast. You see Wings fat ass rolls everywhere.
I want to get naked just thinking about it. Like I cannot believe.
I'm being fucking serious. I'll do that shit naked as long as my junk's under the table. I'll sit right there naked across from Phil.
Did you ask Keemstar if the money was there? Like, did you ask him or did you assume?
I didn't talk to him. Like somebody goes in my chat and is like, Keemstar will give you $50,000 to do a podcast. I'm like, shit, give me the money. Shit.
He's got to get people to say yes to it. So DSP saying no kind of put a monkey wrench in it. But if he found another lol cow, well, what he would consider a lol cow, not what the community would consider, but like if he found that, he'd be willing to probably put it together. Yeah, he'd probably put it together.
Low tier God's going to be a better conversation than Phil would be anyway.
True.
Well, I wonder if he would actually work with low tier God though, because hasn't low tier God like said even more insane shit than other people?
Yeah, he's up there too. I mean, but like he's just, see, I look at that differently, man. I look at low tier God as somebody trying to be entertaining. He's trying to be a big personality. That's who he is. That's his goal. Your job to be a streamer is to be an entertainer, and like I think he does it well. Like I'm entertained by low tier God.
Would you would you do what I do and take off your shirt for $50?
If I didn't think it would if I didn't think it would get me banned, yeah.
Yeah, why it shouldn't get you banned. I think you even on Twitch now you could show man titties. It used to not be that way. They used to say, "Oh, guys can't take their shirts off," but then they changed their tune. Dude, do it. Fuck it.
The problem is I got to be able to stream period to be able to take my shirt off.
Dude, you have the best nipples on the internet.
Do I?
Yes, it is. I only
have that one picture out there. I have a couple pictures out there shirtless.
I remember when you were doing the thing with Kyle, man. I'm like, man, that man has some powerful. Those are alpha nipples.
Can you do that though? Somebody said they pay me $50 to put my shirt back on. So like somebody pays $50 to take it off, and somebody pays $50 to put it back on.
Yeah, fuck them. They say that to me too. I just say no, I'm not doing that. You pay, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, 50 off, 50 on, 50 off, 50 on. I'll be sitting there. Well, actually, people, hey, it's a workout for you, but. Yeah, I mean,
I do the jumping jacks and shit like that.
I wanted to ask you, Gamer from Mars, because in the event of this situation,
hold on, I have to get shirtless because I'm a professional.
Sounds good. Oh, that's Beast.
First off, that's 50. That's 50 Canadian. That's not exactly $50.
Wings 007. You seeing this?
Close enough. What is it? Gamer. I wanted to ask you, man, if Christine gets out. And she's ready to go, and she's released. Do you think that would be entertaining for Wings, Boogie, and Christine to be on a podcast?
Not only should they have a podcast, they should all live together in a house and have a TLC live.
I am not living with
Wait, I was whipping out my nipples. What just happened?
I think there should be a reality show where Wings of Redemption and Christine Weston Chandler live in a house together.
No,
I can see right now. I'd step on a fucking like Gundam or some shit like that, and I'd lose my mind.
Here's something I've heard about Wings, and this is from Woody, I believe, is that that Chris Chan smells like taint. It has been like Christine Chandler. Chris Chan, you know this, Gamer from Mars, sent out hair to women that he thought liked him. Okay,
yeah,
and the hair smelled. He still smell. She still. I'm sorry. She still smells like taint. And I know.
I met Christine at the end of 2019, early 2020.
I remember that.
She did not. She actually smelled fine. No problems there. The house didn't smell like cat piss though.
Oh, that yum. I'm gonna lose my train of thought because I'm retarded. Hold on one second. Wings, what happened with you, that neighbor of yours? Explain it here with that whole shit. What do you explain it to? They actually defended you on PKA.
Which neighbor? What can you refresh
The one
me?
that you had at your house because he was putting out all that crazy shit to me. Yeah.
Aaron. Well, first off, he's not my neighbor.
In the town.
He lives in the general area. Aaron was a friend of one of my mother's friends' kids, you know? So like he would come around when she would come around when we were little kids. And we never liked to hang out with him because like when he was young, like 5 or so, he like was a dumbass and ran in front of a lawnmower and got his foot caught under the blades and had most of his right foot cut off.
Jesus.
And we thought it was gross. So,
well, yes,
we made him keep his socks on, and we kind of picked on him, but back in the day because of that, you know, you keep your socks on. And
so he had a bone to pick with you.
I don't know. I mean, like, I never really interacted with him that much. There was times when we were young, and then later on in life, he needed a job, and I was working at Domino's at the time, and I'm like, yo, I'll give you a job because I was the crew chief at Domino's. So I hired him at Domino's, and then he moved to another store in a couple weeks because like you got hired on as a company, and the company owned multiple stores, and they would move you around. He decided to go to a store towards the beach to make.
Who the hell is eating? It sounds like
gamer. It's 100% gamer.
Bro, sorry, my bad.
It's okay, but I'm like, holy shit!
At the movies,
dude.
Oh my god. When you're so bored, you eat chips. Like
my right eardrum was pulsating from crunching.
I love you, gamer. I love you.
My bad, bug. You guys. I'm listening to the stream as I'm eating a salad, and I'm like, I gotta call into this.
It's all good, but I'm just like, it's all good, man. It's no big deal. I'm like, that is the loudest crunching I have heard.
Those are the most amazing croutons in existence. Just saying.
Iceberg lettuce. That's the key.
True. So how the okay, Wing. So you have to walk. How did we go? It's okay. It crunch away. How did we go? How did it go from your neighbor kind of having a beef with you because you guys made fun of his foot to him? How did he even get in the fucking trolls Discord? Like, how did that happen?
He knew certain things that proved that he knew me in real life, and they got him in there and they started recording him, asking him questions, and he just started making up stories.
But he wasn't he in there for like hours?
I don't know how long he was in there. Like the fact is, he lied to my face because he started reconnecting with me after that because he did that in like December, and he started coming over to my house in January, and like, you know, because at the time I needed some work on my subflooring, and that's what he did. He does like subflooring work.
Okay.
And so I started asking him about stuff and show him the floors and stuff like that, and like he's taking pictures of the house and taking pictures of the inside of my house that has nothing to do with the floors and shit like that, and like he's being a double agent is what he basically was, but I didn't know that at the time because like, you know, it's
fucking weird.
It's Aaron from the past, you know. He actually hung out with my brother more than he hung out with me. I played video games and fucking shit like that when I was in my teens.
So he had a real axe to grind. Like this was a whole thought out thing with him, it seems like then.
Probably, yeah.
How did you keep from choking him when you were sitting on stream?
Again, I got no testosterone. That means I'm not violent. Testosterone controls like your aggression, your motivation, your libido. I'm not a very violent person.
Dude, you need to get that libido.
It's like Aaron exposed me for diddling my sister. No, he didn't. Aaron.
No, that I mean, I even
brought my sister. I even brought my sister on the. I even got my sister to say, you know, like my sister admitted that I never touched her or anything like that. I was an ideal brother growing up.
According to Woody, you're a very hygienic dude.
100%.
And the story was that your sister stunk because it was her time, and you said to her, "You fucking stink." Is that true?
I don't know if that's true, but I could see myself saying that if that happens.
Holy shit, Wings!
That was the most politician way to go about. So he kind of. But point being is that he kind of twisted that into like, oh, he was like sniffing it, like you were perverted with your sister. That's how he went from point A to point B. This dude.
No, this dude literally was creepy. Like he would text my sister when she was like 15 and shit, and like, you look sexy irony. And your friends and stuff like that. That's how I got him so fucking scared and over here, because like I literally had him texting underage girls, trying to get with him when he's like 26, 27.
Why is it always the people that are like the one they always are calling other people pedos, and they're the ones who are actually trying to do that shit? It's amazing. I've noticed that.
Mm-hmm. It's just like pastors that are anti.
Ask about his high school education and his metallurgy degree. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Metallurgy. They want me to say that I dropped out of high school, which I did, and I got my GED, and I basically went to work in a factory. And the reason I dropped out of high school was because I got picked on viciously because I was massively overweight.
Oh, that's why you dropped out of high school? What year did you drop out? Like what?
2001, 2002.
Like, were you a sophomore? I mean to say, like, what year in high school were you?
I would think I was a sophomore. I was either freshman going into sophomore, because like I didn't go to school enough, so I basically didn't go up in grades very much.
What initially made you?
I had a lot of truancy issues because I didn't like being at school, because like people were vicious with their picking.
Did you react to that back then as a kid? Do you think maybe that
I never was a violent person? No.
Ask about who owns the modular mansion.
See, like, they're just asking about stuff they know the answer to. All right, here's the thing, and they're just going to call me a liar regardless. I don't know why they ask these questions. When I was 19, I was working at Domino's Pizza, and I lived with my mother still, and my mother had just bought the place I currently live in. And she got remarried to my second stepfather. And they went to build a house because he had a good job. She had a good job. They wanted to go build a house. But she had just got into this house. So instead of me going and moving in with them and they sell the house, I'm like, just let me take over this, right?
Okay.
So like I took it over on a verbal contract. Well, fast forward 10 years, their marriage doesn't work out. And my stepfather at the time, he actually like beats off onto my sister when my mother would leave for work beforehand, and he would come in after her, but he like beat off while she was asleep on top of her and stuff. And my mother called me crying. I'm like, no, pick your shit up.
What? Hold on. Beat off, like beat her up, or
no, beat his dick.
Oh, come on.
Is this a known story? I've never heard this.
Yeah,
holy shit.
A lot of lore about you, dude, and I've never heard of that. That's fucking crazy.
And I'm like, come on. I'm like, as long as I got a place to stay, you got a place to stay. So I moved my mother back in. This is right either right at the time my YouTube was kicking off or right after my YouTube started kicking off. And so it looked like I lived with my mother when I first came in, but no, she moved back in. She moved back in, lived with me for about 4 years, and then she moved back out. But during that time, like we had all kinds of fights because like she had this, because I took the house over 10 years before. Well, 10 years, this is 5 or 6 years before, right? 5 or 6 years before. I was 19. I was like 25-ish when all this went down. And all her new boyfriends always like, well, this is your house. He should be renting from you, blah, blah, blah. When I had this verbal contract with her. So like there was like a period of like 3 or 4 years where like we were like two rams hitting heads together with me and my mother, because like, I'm like, no, this is mine. Like you gave a verbal contract stating that I would take this over to buy it. Right.
But wouldn't a verbal contract, I mean, I don't know the law from my ass, but a verbal contract wouldn't hold up in court though, would it? It wouldn't.
It would if you have all the records. And like I could have went and pulled all my bank records showing me make the payments and stuff like that. A judge would give it to you.
But couldn't your mom have just said, "Oh, he's renting for me. That's just the rent payment"?
She could, but it's all about the judge's it's all of the judge's discretion at that point.
Okay. I mean, I think the judge would be like, that's hearsay. That's at least what I have been told what hearsay is. I would have asked for that in writing.
Right. And I didn't at the time because I was fucking 19, man. I'm 19.
I get you. You're young. It's your mom.
And so eventually I ended up getting it in writing when she gave me 25%. Because like what she ended up doing was she ended up remortgaging the house a couple times. So I'd had to pay more and more on the house. She would remortgage the house, take the money, and my house payment would go up. And so now, so like the last time she did it, I'm like, if you want to keep doing this, you're going to pay the homeowner's insurance too, since it's your house. And she didn't want to do that because she didn't have really a whole lot of income coming in. So I got her to sign over 25%. So if she wants to remortgage it, she got to have my signature, thing like that.
So I don't even know how that. I don't know. Fuck all. How does that? So that means you own the house then, because if she would have.
Well, my house is deeded, so like I own the house and land it sits on for 25% of it.
Okay, so you're not on because it is a mobile home. You're not.
It's a modular home.
Modular home. Okay, but so you own the land and the house. It's not like you're paying rent for the land space.
Right. I own both.
Okay.
But I only own 25% of it, and people want to be like, "Oh, she has mass majority." But in South Carolina, if you own 1%, you basically own half, because like you can't do anything without everybody's permission.
Oh, this is a good one from Goob. In this, I know he's not a troll. What happened with the whole thing with Ukraine and you, and how they were making it like you were a journalist that got killed there?
There's a whole New York Times article based on this.
What?
Yes, I saw. I never got to read the fucking article. I forgot about it.
Apparently, like the New York Times one was about Uvalde, because like they did it with Uvalde too, and
oh my God.
And people got really upset with Uvalde because and they wanted to say crisis actor, because the people were like, look at this guy died here and here and here and here. And I basically went on New York Times to help them out, it's like, because they didn't really give me any money or anything like that. I went to New York Times to help them out and basically proved like, I'm not a crisis actor. I have this big trolling thing and they think it's funny and they do it all the time. And they turned it into the same thing everybody tries to turn it into. Like, this guy wants the age of consent to be this and all these other things, and he's a racist. And it's like, come on, I didn't get really. Like journalists are terrible people. Don't ever don't ever talk to a journalist if you don't have to.
Well, it was also like that one time. It was different than this, where someone who worked at a Home Depot got surveillance footage of you.
Office Depot,
and they put it out there as like it was like you were like running from the cops or something.
Yeah, me and my wife stopped in to buy some folders because just organization folders, like keep tax documents and stuff in, and they took footage of us. And they basically ripped it off the security film and started using it in like their own personal videos. And that's not cool, right? I understand that you record me for the safety of the store, like people breaking in and stuff, but like you shouldn't be able to like record me in your store and then have your employees go use it.
No, I agree with that one. That's kind of like you're at your place of employment. You shouldn't be, oh, wow, I know this guy on YouTube and Twitch. Let me take the surveillance footage and put it out there. And
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's a no-no. I agree with that.
And like I was cool. I thought I handled that cool too. I didn't ask him for any money or anything. I'm like, just have a talk with him, because I don't want nobody to lose their fucking job over some shit like this, right? You don't know what people are going through, right? But
wait, if I can interject there, I know you on a live stream the one time stated that you talked to a lawyer about that, and the lawyer said you didn't have it wasn't worth pursuing.
Right, but that was more my wife. I mean, like,
well, but you just said that you didn't want any trouble coming his way, but now that contradicts the statement that you said in a live stream.
I'm not my wife.
Talk to a lawyer. Okay.
I mean, it was more. My wife was more of like a feeler. Like, can we get money from Office Depot?
Your wife has actually tried to keep you from engaging with the trolls. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. Why don't you listen when she does it? She does have good advice with that.
I'm hard-headed.
No, I had no idea. Like, I've literally seen her like jump in front of I'm exaggerating slightly, but jump in front of your keyboard. What would keep you from stopping engaging with the trolls? Because that is a big part of the reason why you are where you are right now.
If I knew that answer, I wouldn't be here right now.
I wish at least I give you credit compared to Philip Burnell. Like, he won't come on and talk. I'm sitting here live talking. Like, if you, Wings, I know if you stop engaging with them in a year, you've built a big troll base. I would say 75 to 80% of it would stop.
Yeah, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. And like I said, I took, like, if you take Jordy from 2018, like say January 2018, and put him next to me, you wouldn't notice this. Like, we would look like two different people. But sometimes you just can't help it. It's just like tonight, like all these troll questions. I've answered these questions 15 times. They're doing.
Well, you knew that was going to come here. You knew that was going to come here. You know, and I give everyone a podium so long as they're not being out of their fucking minds. You know. I
don't answer these questions on my stream because I'm afraid that people will just use them to get me banned off of my streaming platform. Like, I live in fear of everything I say on stream.
Yeah, well, so what what is the plan now? Like, what are you going to do at this point?
Like, the plan was to come on here and hopefully get some help. And I think the gamer guy was supposed to be offering like some suggestions.
Yeah, if you DM me, I think I could hook you up to see if I could help you out. I just interjected that thing because I'm just fascinated. I've been watching all the streams and stuff for years and kind of know most of the backstory. So I interjected, but yeah, if you DM me on Twitter, I can see what I can do.
Okay. I mean, like, again, I'm not asking for like special treatment from YouTube. Like, if I'm breaking copyright,
you're asking for communication. Like, that's it.
If I'm breaking copyright, fucking bust my balls about it. But I normally don't. I'm usually pretty good about making my own content. I've been a partner for 14 fucking years, right? And I've never broke copyright once.
They're saying Problem Child says he needs to own up to his mistakes and just say sorry.
Have I not done that this stream?
I'm
asking you this. I mean, like, this is your opinion. Like, have I not seemed apologetic?
Bro, I'm high as hell. I don't know if you apologize.
How about somebody else that's not high?
I don't think you need to apologize. I think you just need to stop feeding the trolls. And I know you say, though, it's too late for that. And if I don't feed it, then it gets worse. But
100%. Listen
to
you
feed it, and it just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse. Like, I don't know how this keeps on continuing. The saga is just insane at this point. That, like, there's leaked calls of you talking with these trolls. You know your trolls by their names. And like, you're trying to negotiate with them and shaving your beard off so they'll leave you alone. No.
Hold on, pause, everyone. Wings 007, I know you're here. If Wings stopped, it's kind of weird trying to say two different names but the same name. If Wings, like, cold stopped reacting to you for a year, would that, like, make you move on? He may say no anyway, but let's see what he says. That's a perfect example right there. Like, would you get bored and move on to somebody else? Let's see what he says.
I mean, does it matter what he says?
Not really, but it's just an example. It doesn't. You get what I'm saying, though. Like, it's like that. Like, it'll take time. They'll still keep trying to poke the hornet's nest. I know. But eventually they'll be like, this is boring. I'm going to move on to someone else who's actually going to react to me. What's Phil doing?
Like, yeah, I know. It's just like this insane thing where in no other case is there a YouTuber where I know troll channels names. I know Sean Ranklin. I know the Slob Father, Wingtings V8, Wings 007. It's insanity that I know these names of trolls and they're that notable. And that you're jumping on calls with them and trying to negotiate with terrorists about, like, if they're going to try to shut down your channels.
Well, that's out of desperation that call happened.
But you shouldn't even if you're desperate, don't do it. That's the thing.
Well, the thing is, I was like, man, it's I don't live paycheck to paycheck, and I try to get this across to people because I don't want to seem like, I'm a firm believer. My problems are my problems. You know, they're not your problems. Like I try not to be Phil. Like, you know, Phil's consistently, I need $5 for a loaf of bread, or, you know.
Pretty much. Like, he's not exaggerating at all.
But so I make it clear that I don't live paycheck to paycheck, but like, I don't want to go backwards either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to try to test the strength of like my savings accounts and things like that.
So Wings 007 responded, he would have to stop saying outrageous things to people and stop the e-begging. If he stopped being a shitty person, then probably. But Wings 007, let me ask you something. There are people way worse. He has said dumbass shit. I've talked about it here, and I've told him it's dumbass shit. But there are people way worse on this platform that your time and energy would be much more productive to make their lives hell. I'm not going to name any names, but why Wings? Let's see what
for him?
Yeah,
it's
you can answer for him. It's entertainment.
That's the answer.
I know.
That's the answer. It's not about them being mad. It's not about them being happy. It's not about them finding funny. The more general
or justice or anything.
Are they entertained by this? And if you provide them entertainment, that's where the term lolcow is derived from. You milking LOLs out of somebody. If you don't provide those LOLs anymore, they'll move on to somebody else. Review Tech USA was in the same exact spot you were at 5 years ago, and he was able to get out of it. It took a while.
My problem is so much like Wings 007 and his buddy. Like, those are the least of my concerns at this point in my life. Because my trolls come in 3 flavors. They come in casual,
check.
They come in troll channel, and then they come in, psychopaths.
Check. All right, night.
And like the psychopaths are the ones I'm dealing with, and like that dude that I was on that call with that said, you know, he'll give me a month if I shave my beard. And I'm like, okay, I'll shave my fucking beard for a month, because like, it's a fucking beard. It'll grow back. I don't give a shit. People make fun of me.
Wings. It doesn't matter, like, oh, I'm just trying, like, it's not that big of a deal if I shave my beard.
Right. That's why I cut it off. That's why he banned me.
But the second you do that for them, and
that's all they need. He's right, Wings.
Now you just reset the clock. Every time you do something like that, it resets the clock, and now they're reinvigorated to do more. And now there's more of a back catalog of the saga, and then more people make videos about it. And
exactly.
The King Farms thread gets page after page longer about you, and there's more dedicated people. The second you stop doing things like weighing yourself on camera to get them to leave you alone, and get your PlayStation count back, shaving your beard so they'll leave you alone, them sending DoorDash to your house and you eating it on stream and throwing away the salad. Every time you do a memeable moment like that, it's just bringing new people on board, more psychos, more people dedicated to trolling you, creating Discord servers dedicated to it. The second that you become boring, they'll move on.
Right.
Yep.
That's like the thing that I really hope you understand, Wings, is like the thing about trolls is that, like Gamer from Mars said, they literally just want a reaction from you. So if you weigh yourself, if you do all these things that you've been doing, they're just going to keep going and doubling down and seeing if they can outdo themselves each time. Just don't listen to them. They'll give up.
And I am already going to give you a positive critique. I don't know if those two words work together, that unlike DSP, you're actually a fairly entertaining dude. You don't need to feed the trolls to get people to watch you. Whereas if DSP actually became self-aware, like, he would have one person watching him. Like, so if you stop feeding the trolls and just go with like having like your personality, the stupid shit you set aside, I think you would be fine.
Yeah. Which I don't.
That's the biggest problem.
I don't get to see my personality shine on my streams though either, because like I have to watch what I say so hard. Like,
but you wouldn't have to watch as you say as much if the trolls moved on.
Right. Well, I don't think they're ever going to totally move on.
No. Of course, there's people that hate me that are still watching me. But you know what I do with them? I just glance right over them, man. They are shit on my shoe, and I just don't pay attention.
Yeah, but you do kind of sometimes. I remember there's an issue with the house that you had a while back.
Well, that was the quartering putting it out. That's why.
Yeah.
He was like on a major platform with hundreds of thousands of people. It's not like it was someone with 30 subs.
And I would also say that Rich probably shouldn't be arguing with the quartering on Twitter. That's
he's just he's right, because he's just a giant bearded fascist troll. Like, he just happens to have a YouTube channel.
Can we talk about? I know we're going to finish, but before we end this, I want to talk about Phil. I never get to talk about Phil with anybody but the wife.
Okay, we could talk about Phil. We could talk about Phil, but no, you're right. I've said that I have to move on from the quartering because it's anyway. Yeah, it's time to move on. Gamer from Mars is right.
I agree. I need to ignore them, and that's honestly, I have a couple game plans going forward, and ignoring them is in a lot of it. Like I told him last time, like I really got upset the other night, and I went off on the two guys that make my life a living hell. And I'm done. I'm blocking your email threads. I'm blocking every access you have to me, and I'm going to ignore you now. And I'm going to have to suffer through all the things, because once I did that, they canceled my stream elements. And
but they'll do that stuff regardless. But as time
right,
goes
but
on, they're going to get bored.
And I eventually got to find a way to accept donations.
Of course,
yeah.
But every time you let them provoke you, let's say you ignore them now. This is day 1. Day 2, they're going to harass you. Day 3, day 5, maybe even 2 months from now, they're still harassing you. The second they get a rise out of you, that clock starts from day 1 again. But if you ignore them for 6 months, if you ignore them for a year, they'll get bored. You give Kiwi Farms no new material for them to dig into and report on and laugh over. They'll move on to someone else.
It'll take time because they're hoping that you'll eventually relapse into engaging again. Again, I know. But yeah, eventually they'll be like, this is fucking boring. Like, he's not doing anything anymore. I can't clip anything he's doing. So he's right, Wings.
Does anybody else have cameras on here?
Besides me and
I'm
my
on my
naked
cell phone.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm just not the only one without a camera on.
No one has cameras on. It's just looking at.
Yeah, it's all voice.
They're just looking at a large shirtless man and hearing all of your voices.